I mean, I was told by my film professor, there are films and there are movies. And sometimes you've got to know what you're walking into.
Yeah. See, but I come from a time when movies were films.
2024 is in the books. Another year of pretty solid movies is down the drain, and I did watch 365 movies in one single year, but out of that 365, I only watched a mere 29 movies from 2024. And I could squeeze in some movies that I watched, like the Sabrina Carpenter special, some little short stuff in there, but for the most part, I only watched 29 movies, which is a little bit upsetting. This list is definitely not complete at all. I have so many films on my watch list that are yet to be watched. But for now, I'm just going to give out my top 10 films for the year. This is definitely going to change very, very soon. But for now, this is where it's sitting. And of course, before we even get started into that, I'll just very quickly just go through some films that I haven't seen yet, but I've heard a lot of great things about them. I'll just quickly give a quick little shout out to them. They're probably very good, but I haven't seen them quite yet, but I'm still extremely interested. Like for Sonic 3. Sonic 3, is it probably that good? I don't know, but I want to watch it eventually. The Substance had a lot of hype around it. I haven't seen it quite yet. Queer, Luca Guadagnino, he's been on a very hot streak for me. Haven't seen it quite yet either. I'm very upset about that. The Brutalist has been really one of the biggest of the entire year. It's like 3.5 hours long though, so I'm definitely staying a little bit patient. For animated movies, I haven't seen Flow or The Wild Robot. Still working on those two. Also, Inside Out 2, I understand it was the hit of the year, but I haven't seen Inside Out 2 just quite yet. I'm still working on it. And there's also just a ton of other great films out there that are really good, that look pretty solid, but I haven't seen them yet. A Completely Unknown from Timothée Chalamet, starring Timothée Chalamet. Haven't seen it yet, really want to. It's in the pipeline eventually. A Real Pain, Jesse Eisenberg is an incredible director. I really want to see that one as well. Heard a lot of cool stuff about it, so I'm interested to go see that one too. Also, A Different Man, which stars that one guy from the MCU, who I can't remember right now. It was actually, Sebastian Stan. A Different Man, 2024, came out. Haven't seen it quite yet, but I'm definitely very interested. And that's just about it for all the films in 2024 that I've heard great things about, but I haven't found any way to watch them just yet. There's just so many incredible films that I'm really just eager to tap into. Another great one that I even heard about but haven't seen yet is Oh Canada. That one probably got a very small release. It was in like Cannes Film Festival or TIFF last year, and I never went to those festivals obviously, so I would be interested to see what happened in that movie. Oh Canada, I read a review for it, sounded super interesting, but never saw it, unfortunately. But I'll get to those eventually. As award season comes along, I'll be talking about films like Long Legs, The First Omen, a ton of great movies that I just haven't found a chance to see yet, but eventually I will. As we go into Oscars, I'll be, forced to watch those ones that have been building up a lot of more hype as we go into these next months. As we go into them, we're going to be hearing the next 3-4 films consistently, so you got to watch those as soon as possible, so I'll definitely be working on that. Now, films that are outside of my top 10, but I still definitely really enjoyed, I'll just give a very quick little shout out to like 5 or 6 films here. Number 1, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. It's number 11 for me right now. Like I said, that may change, but for right now, it's number 11. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes was super fun. Did a whole review for it, so definitely listen to that one. We Live in Time, Andrew Garfield, Florence Pugh. It's a very, cliche romance movie. Doesn't do anything exactly special, but still, it's a whole lot of fun. It's very funny, and also the romance of it all is also very good. Hitman, Richard Linklater was also super fun. Civil War, did a full fat episode for that too, so, you can go listen to that also. Look Back was a very short little anime film, 50 minutes long. It's in my top 15. This is a great animated movie. No one really talked about it, but still, definitely go watch that one. Things on Amazon still. Monkey Man, Dev Patel, great touchable debut. Did a great job with it. I love Monkey Man. Super fun action movie. Alien Romulus was also super great as well. I saw the TV Glow, A24. I saw the TV Glow. I'm still trying to understand why it's so good, but still, I have to show some kind of respect for it because it is just super original and creative, but I'm just not the target audience, unfortunately. Also, Deadpool Wolverine was super fun. The Fall Guy was a sleeper hit that no one saw. Still really mad about that. Problemista and also Love Lies Bleeding. 2 A24 films. Problemista, super underrated, super fun, super cool. Love Lies Bleeding is a very super cool, like, action movie that is just a whole lot of fun. You definitely really would love it. That's really it for the honorable mentions for right now. There's definitely been a lot of great films that haven't got a lot of buzz since they've come out, like Alien Romulus. This is a super cool, fun movie with a great production design that I really did enjoy. But outside of all my yapping, I'll just go ahead and start diving into the main top 10 and get you on with your day. Okay, so the first film here, starting off at number 10, I do have Gladiator 2, which comes to us from Ridley Scott, the GOAT himself. This one is super cool and fun. Like I said in my Everything I Watched in November episode, I did watch this film in IMAX, and I have to say it is really good, but the real gist of everything is that the movie feels like I don't exactly need it. It feels like if I went to a restaurant and I got a big, fat, juicy steak that was a 10 out of 10, and then, like, an hour later, I got ice cream that I didn't exactly hate. The ice cream is good, but the ice cream wasn't exactly needed at all. That's Gladiator 2. It feels like they kind of forced a sequel in here. It doesn't exactly feel like it was exactly deserved, but still, everything works great. We have the GOAT in here, Denzel Washington. You have the GOAT, Pedro Pascal, and also you have Paul Mescal, who's an up-and-coming GOAT as well. And this movie does do a good job for the other two, but for Paul Mescal, I feel like he could have done better in the movie. It wasn't exactly his fault, but the script itself just kind of made the movie feel a little bit bland and boring at times. But still, Gladiator 2 was fun. It's everything that I would want from a Gladiator movie, so I'm kind of all here for it, but did kind of age out of existence, so this may get knocked off top 10 eventually, but for right now, it's hanging on by a thread for now, until I watch something cooler. Then number 9, I have Dee Dee. Dee Dee is a very simple coming-of-age story from Sean Wang. This one was my biggest surprise of the year, I'd say comfortably, well, at least top 5 biggest surprises of the year. I didn't even know this one was coming out. If you ever seen that movie mid-90s from Jonah Hill, it's like that, skateboarding, kids having fun in the summer, and also this one is placed in the 2000s. He's a kid who skateboards, also shoots videos on his little camcorder. It's a very, very simple movie, but executed so incredibly well. The saddest thing with this movie is that it won't receive really any kind of Oscar nominations or even Emmy or Grammy, whatever you want to say. This film will most likely not receive any nomination, unfortunately, but it is definitely worth your time. It's an easy top 10 for the year so far, and definitely one of my best of the decade so far for right now. If I watch it again, it might go 9 out of 10, but for now, it's a very comfortable 8 out of 10. And then keeping it pushing here with number 8 for the year, I do have Jury Number 2. Jury Number 2 is a very good movie. Clint Eastwood cooked here immensely. It had me hooked the entire time with this movie, and also Nicholas Hoult, incredibly good. Directing, very, very good. The plot itself really carries along the entire movie for sure. And you may be asking, is this the next Dune Part 2 or The Holdovers? No, the cinematography doesn't look like it's exactly like Oppenheimer, but still, it's very simple, very basic, which really does everything right that I want it to, and also, it's very entertaining. I definitely say it's worth your time. I won't say what the movie's about, because if you want to go into it blind, that's definitely the best bet for sure. It will leave you with so many different kind of questions going out of the movie that really does just make it one of the best of the entire year for sure. Then for number 7, I do have Transformers 1. This is another one of my top 5 biggest shocks of the entire year. Transformers 1 is easily one of the most riveting experiences that I've had the entire year. I really didn't even have this film on a radar at all. I just saw Transformers 1, a kid's movie for Transformers. Sure, why not? Whatever, I'm just gonna kind of brush to the side. Then my friend hit me up one night and said, hey, Logan, Transformers and IMAX, me and you, let's go. I was like, sure, why not? Whatever. Transformers is my childhood. I don't care. Let's go see it. Why not? I don't have anything else to do tonight. I'm down. I'm game for it. And I'm so happy I did. Transformers 1 is just so incredibly good. It really does just have so much depth and layers to such an incredible, incredible story and lore for the entire world of Transformers. Seeing the original origin story for Optimus Prime and Megatron, really the birth of the entire war, is so cool to see. I always imagined what a Transformers film that didn't have any kind of humans in it, that placed entirely on Cybertron, what would that look like? Would it be good? Well, definitely, yes, this film is incredibly, incredibly good. You can argue, if you're that kind of guy, this is the number 1 Transformers film of all time, and if you've seen any of the Michael Bay ones, Dark of the Moon, easy number one for me, but a very close second just might be Transformers 1. This just does so many things right for the world and for the mythos of all these characters that I had to love it a whole lot. And if you ask me, does Transformers 1 need a sequel? I would say no, honestly, just because there's been so much more Transformers, but I'm absolutely here and game for a sequel any day of the week. This is just definitely so incredibly cool, and I'm all here for it. If there's a sequel, I'm down for it. I'm game for it any day of the week. I already did a full review for this movie, so I'm not going to yap too much about it, but still, go watch it. If you haven't seen it, I'm not sure what you're doing. You're going to love it a whole ton. And then finally, at number 6, I do have the one, the only M. Night Shyamalan, my most watched director of the entire year. I have his latest movie, Trap, on here. I gave this film a very modest and honest 9 out of 10, which may have seemed high now I'm looking back on it. I may have gotten caught in the hype of this movie when it first came out, but truly, M. Night Shyamalan is definitely one of the greatest directors in American history. I watched most of his films this year, and he's just so incredibly good. His films are so special, and Trap is just so incredibly, just like, if you get like a fast heartbeat very easily, don't watch the movie. 30,000 fans, 300 cops, one serial killer, no escape. It's kind of like if you ever played those like old like Hitman games, it's like that. That's how it feels the entire movie. It's so just incredibly fun, so much tension. It's an incredible thriller. It will have you guessing to the end, and the ending is also just so freaking good. You would love this film for anyone. If you want to get into watching movies, I'd say the best thing to do is to follow a director's history and his whole career. That's the best bet to go down. And the director I'd say to start out with is definitely M. Night Shyamalan for sure. Trap is definitely like a top 2 film in M. Night Shyamalan's filmography, and he has made a lot of incredible bangers. The acting all around is great. The cinematography as well is very good, surprisingly. Also, Josh Hartnett is so good in this film as well. The screenplay will have you on the edge of your seat the entire time. You will love it for sure. Like I said, if you haven't seen it, go watch it right now. Please, it's just absolutely incredible. This is probably my biggest surprise of the year. I'd say at least like 2 or 3 for right now. It was so good. It was incredible. 9 out of 10. Definitely go watch it for sure. Okay, so 10 through 6 out of the way. That's all done out of the way. Now time for top 5 territory. Getting a little bit serious now. So just going to number 5 here, straight out of the boot. I'll go with Nora from Sean Baker. This one is just truly a work of art. It's a modern day Cinderella story with a stripper, which may sound crazy and just out of your comfort zone, but trust me, you're going to love it. It's incredible. It's great. Sean Baker has this just incredible way of directing a movie. The film is at times incredibly funny, then also just filled with tension, then filled with sadness, and he does it so effortlessly. He's incredible at his job. He's just great with it. I love all of it. And like I said, the plot may sound weird to you, it may be out of your way, but still, trust me, go watch Nora. It's just so incredibly good. Cinematography, the acting from Mickey Madison, also just incredible. The directing from Sean Baker, top notch, out of this world. Even the rest of the cast is kind of like some unknown actors. They did very good as well in here. They're all around really good. But the main thing that makes the film incredible is Mickey Madison. This is her year. She might win Best Actress for all I know. She definitely is very deserving of it. Right now, I'd say she is definitely favored for number 1 pick for Best Actress. Not for like an NFL draft, for Best Actress. She's very good at it. Right now, she's my top pick for sure. We'll have to see with it. So if you haven't seen Nora, definitely go watch it. Not sure what you're doing. This film may be streaming by this time, I guess. But still, if it's not, if you can see it in a theater, definitely go do that for sure. Definitely worth it. The ending will have you shocked as well. And for number 5, I did have Nora, like I said. But for number 4, I do right now have Challengers from Luca Guadagnino. This one was, I'd say, the biggest surprise for me the entire year. I didn't have any kind of anticipation for the movie in any way whatsoever. And that's not to say I thought the film was going to be exactly bad, but to say this film is going to be like a 9 out of 10, I did not see that coming at all. This film will have you shocked, jaw to the floor. Cinematography is great. The acting is a very young cast. Zendaya, Mike Fish, Josh O'Connor, they're all the main heart of the entire movie. Zendaya at the center of it all. She's just incredible. Josh O'Connor is also very fun in here as well. Mike Face, I saw him in that one movie. What was it called again? one from Steven Spielberg. Thinking about it right now, I haven't tipped my tongue. West Side Story, who's very good in that one. This film is just very good all around. I can't say anything about it because you're definitely gonna love it either way. Go into it blind if you can and be just addicted by it. It's just really incredible. And the score for the film also got some, I guess, hate kind of for winning the best score at the Emmys the other night. But I'd say that for, sorry, I think it was, no, Golden Globes, I think was the award show. Sorry, Golden Globes, I think. But for Golden Globes, this won the best score. It is definitely worth it. The score for Challengers is really one of the main things in the entire film. If the score is on track for Challengers, the movie just doesn't really work as well. And I know there's that one film at number one, starts with a D, but I'm going to get to that in a second here. But the score for Challengers, very good, very worth it. Watch it if you haven't already. It's a very good movie, definitely worth the time. All right, so number 4, Challengers. Number 3, Nosferatu, Robert Eggers. This one is also very, very good. And I yapped about it a little bit when I talked about it yesterday. Sorry, a couple days ago for my December episode I did. And this movie is still definitely very, very good. Like I said before, if you were looking for a shot-for-shot remake of the first movie from 1922, this is not that at all. This is not a remake. This is more of a adaptation of the story, which is really just as fine, just as good. It's actually a very good movie, very great adaptation. It is feeling like it's more accurate to the actual book and actual setting of the time, which I definitely do love about it. Like, one thing that I do, I guess, in the moment I didn't really like about it, but now I have kind of grown about it, is the Nosferatu Count Orlok design of it is not like in the past, to where in the past, Count Orlok looked like he was just a full-on vampire monster. But in the movie Nosferatu 2024, he looks like he's just a guy who was alive at one point and now he's a vampire, which in the moment, I was like, that's kind of whack and kind of dumb. But now looking back on it, it is kind of cool to see that he did at one point have a past, and now he's this just really menacing figure. It's kind of cool, kind of weird, but kind of cool, kind of fun. Nosferatu, definitely worth the time. Definitely go see it. It was definitely really all around a great movie, and I love the acting. Lily Rose Depp is, I think, right now also in the running for Best Actress. I understand the Academy Awards, they don't like horror films, but this one, Lily Rose Depp, she just really commits everything to the role for this movie. She deserves some kind of shout out or like a little participation trophy in any kind of way. She really did an incredible job. Really all around incredible job with it. Nicholas Hoult also can do absolutely no wrong. He's incredibly good here as well. Bill Skarsgård, obviously the MVP here. He's Count Orlok. If I didn't tell you that he was Count Orlok, you wouldn't have known. He literally just disappears into every single role that he does. Even like with Pennywise, he just like fades away into the character. This one is no different. He's definitely, like, I think right now, one of the best doing it right now today for this kind of acting. He's so good here. Bill Skarsgård definitely in the Hall of Fame performance kind of area here with Nosferatu. Definitely go see it for that alone. Then also, Aaron Taylor-Johnson was surprisingly very, very good. One, I didn't know he was in the film till like a month before this. And two, he is surprisingly like so addicting and so good on screen with this role. He's just playing into it so much. And also a little bit of a critique here with Nosferatu. It does at times feel a little bit like it's kind of a joke or a game and kind of funny. And then on the other hand, it's very serious and dark and gloomy. And I feel like Aaron Taylor-Johnson is just like there to point out like, why is this so funny yet so serious at the end of the movie? That's kind of how Aaron Taylor-Johnson is. He's so fun in the film, so incredible. Then Willem Dafoe, he completely just dives into the just really kind of silly and goofy nature of the entire concept of this entire movie. It's just so fun. Willem Dafoe's just so fun in here, playing this role just with this so much kind of like, hey, this film's crazy. The plot is very dumb, so I'm just going to kind of roll with it. That was him the entire movie. It was a great time. I love Nosferatu. It was fun. Top 3 for the year, but not number 2, which was definitely a banger as well. And that number 2 was definitely Furiosa. Furiosa is the film that flopped for no reason. This film should not have flopped by any means whatsoever. The action was all there. Cinematography was also there as well. Anya Taylor-Joy did her thing here very, very good as well. And also, the real MVP here, I'd say, for this film is definitely Chris Hemsworth. Chris Hemsworth in this film is kind of like the Joker from The Dark Knight. It feels Australian, and also at times a little bit crazier and a little bit more fun as well. Chris Hemsworth was surprisingly one of the best villains, I guess, of the last like 5 years. He was actually very good in the movie. I'm actually very surprised about it. In fact, Chris Hemsworth was so good, I want to see him in more villain roles. He needs to be in more kind of villainous roles for sure. He was just so good in this movie. I'm still like very surprised about it. And unfortunately, no one saw it, but the acting, directing, cinematography, the action, everything all around will have you just like as thinking to yourself like, wow, this film really flops. And yet we had films like The Super Movie 4 or 5, whatever it is at this point, do good. And kind of sad, but whatever. It is what it is. Furiosa, a Mad Max saga story, is very good. Flopped horrendously, but still, you should have saw it, but you didn't. It's on Max right now. If you can rent it or buy it or watch it on Max, I definitely say do that as soon as you can because it's really worth it. But it's not number one. Number one film of the year. You already know what it is. It's going to be no surprise at all. But it's definitely, without a doubt, the one, the only, the GOAT, the greatest of all time, from Denis Villeneuve, this random British Columbia Canadian guy with a weird accent. The guy did incredibly well here with Dune Part 2. That's an easily number one, undisputed GOAT of all time for 2024, and best of the decade for sure by far is Dune Part 2. And I know what you're going to say. You're probably going to say, like, this film is so cliche. It's so bad. I don't care. I don't care at all. I lied. Okay, I said I was going to change. I said I was going to try to watch more films. I lied. I watched Dune Part 2 3 times. I watched it twice in its opening weekend, and then again in IMAX, like an hour drive away in IMAX that like week after. It was worth it. I loved it so much, I bought it as soon as it came out on Blu-ray 4K. I love this film so much, I would swaddle it at night for months on end. Dune Part 2 is the greatest film ever made. It's incredible. Easy 5 out of 5. If you haven't watched it, not sure what you're doing right now. Dune Part 2 is also so good that I bought the book for Dune, and it's been a actual paperweight for months on end, and I can definitely say it was worth it wasting the money for it. Dune Part 2 is literally one of the best cinematic experiences of all time. If you haven't seen it, not sure what you're doing. The film speaks for itself all around. The score, cinematography, the acting from Timothée Chalamet, the ending, everything is just perfect. And I love it all so much. I want more of it. I want Dune Messiah. I want the Children of Dune right now. I want to watch Dune Part 2 and Part 1 right now as soon as I possibly can. It's just that good. It's just that incredible. 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10. What else do you want to hear? And I don't care about the Oscars. I don't care this film wins 0 Oscars. I love the movie with all my dying heart. I love it all. This is why movies exist. This is why films exist. Films exist because Dune Part 2 is really just that freaking incredible. Go watch it right now. What are you doing? Still, listen to this. Go watch the film right now. If you can go out there to rent the movie, buy the movie, watch it on Max or Netflix or something, do anything in your power to watch this film. It is truly the Empire Strikes Back of our time, but better than Empire Strikes Back. It's better than Star Wars. It's better than Lord of the Rings. It's the best franchise of all time. Undisputed, no doubt. Okay, with that rant out of the way, that's it. 2024 is in the books. For a very quick and easy, fast rundown for it again, I'll just go through it one more time. Number 10, Gladiator 2. Number 9, Didi. Number 8, Jury Number 2. Number 7, Transformers 1. Number 6, Trap. Number 5, Anora. Number 4, Challengers. Number 3, Nosferatu. Number 2, Furiosa. And number 1, the greatest film of all time, Dune Part 2. Definitely, easily, no doubt, no question. And I'm just going to tell you, this list will absolutely change. It's going to be like slaughtered to a million pieces besides Dune Part 2. That's here to stay. But for everything else, I think that some things can change a little bit. Definitely number 10, Gladiator 2, definitely going to change. But for now, this is where it's sitting. It'll change like next week. But for right now, at this very second, this is where it is. But you know what? Enough about me. What did you watch in 2024? Was it good? Was it bad? Was it just in between? Let me know. What was your favorite of the year? I also want to hear that too. If it wasn't Dune Part 2, then you don't know movies. But I'll also listen to you and be your friend for now until further notice. If you're on Spotify, we have a cool little DM thing, or like a little chat thing down there. Super fun, I guess. Then if you're not on Spotify, we have a little fan mail thing down there too. What does it do? It sends like a text to me, and then I see it through like an app. So that's super fun. It's through Buzzsprout. They're super fun and cool about it. So let me know how that works, and let me know what your favorite film of the year was. It's going to be super fun. I want to hear about it. I want to hear what you have to say. If it wasn't Dune Part 2, I'll be cautious, but still I'll listen to you, I guess, for now. Later this week on Friday, I'll be doing my 2025 most anticipated thing there. And then next week, I'll be going into Meet the Robinsons. So it's going to be a whole lot of fun these next few months here, going into a lot of great films. Also, I actually forgot to mention it, The Last of Us is coming out too. Also, favorite shows of the year was some pretty cool stuff in there as well. So just, remember that. I do watch TV shows. House of Dragon was slapping this year. Invincible also dropped last year, which is very weird, but it did. Very bad scheduling release there with that one from Amazon. So hopefully this year is better with that too. Also, last minute shout out to X-Men 97. This is one of the best things to come out for fiction ever. Not even just including comics or Marvel, just for fiction as a whole. X-Men 97 is one of my favorite pieces of art ever made by man, for sure. But it's not Doom Part 2, but it's a very close second. But until then, that's enough yapping for now. Until next time, stay swagged out, stay cool, watch more films, watch Dune Part 2 as soon as you can. And until then, I'm Real Slogan, and I'll see you boys in the movie.